right, excellent. So at 6:32, I'm going to open the Recreation Commission meeting for today is the 15th of March. Thanks, everybody, for coming. Before I start, I'm going to use a chairman's announcement. I want to congratulate the 6th grade boys and girls travel basketball teams on Sunday, both here at the Municipal Center, won the league championship, both the boys and the girls.
Congratulations.
I want to thank the community for their support. We had about 250 people there for the boys' game in the morning. And I think it was close to 350 in the gym Sunday afternoon for the girls' game. It was a great atmosphere. That building is fantastic. It's an old school building. The sound echoes off, and you couldn't hear anything. It was so loud. So it was great. So congratulations to those. Thanks for the community coming. First on the agenda is...
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman, how many championships does that add to your total?
It's my second one in a row with the girls. Thanks very much.
Tom Brady over here.
Let's get to the first option on the agenda, which is pickleball. If you guys want to come up, anyone want to come up and discuss, or you're all welcome, or
Bring your chairs. Yeah.
we can get your chairs if people want to come up, or...
Two ladies.
Hey, Donna, you be the sacrificial lamb.
They have a seat face.
Hi. Ides of March today, of course.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Yeah. I feel like back in the days when I was sitting at the court. It's question.
If you guys could just introduce yourself for the minute taker.
Dick Skinner.
Donna Gear, Pam Schwartz.
Welcome. So the first thing I kind of want to talk about is let's just talk about the winter season. What went well, what didn't go well, what can we improve on for next year? I'd like to hear your guys' perspective, then I have a couple of thoughts from the basketball program. So I don't know if you want to take it, what went well, what didn't go well.
All right, well, we had an overwhelming response to our membership. We actually have had to turn people away. We have 75 members, and we have about 30 people on our waiting list, and then there was more to come if they wanted to join, but we had to cap off at a certain amount because we only have so many time slots, and we want the people that began the program to be able to continue to play without getting ousted, because you can't have 50 people in the gym at once trying to play pickleball. So that...
Just for clarification, the people we turned away are non-residents.
Okay,
Residents automatically join us.
excellent.
Yeah. So roughly, like I said, right now we have 75 members of our club and 30 on the waiting list. Everybody's enjoying it. We have a very good senior population in the area. It's nice to get them out there and be able to coach them along. They're very comfortable in their playing because when they go to other places, it's more competitive and they feel the pressure. So they like our program because there's no pressure. They're just there to have fun and socialize with everybody. So it's gone very well in that aspect as far as the program goes.
Okay. Are there any aspects that you'd like to see improved, didn't go well?
Well, obviously, I'm going to say the lines are an issue.
Okay.
The system that we're using is a temporary solution. The lines don't stay down. People trip on them. Somewhat, especially, like I said, where there's seniors involved. We're afraid of injuries. We did have a few injuries. One was actually taken via ambulance, but that was a compound fracture of the wrist. She fell backwards and landed on her wrist.
But that didn't have anything to do with the lines, is my understanding, right? That was just...
Well, she fell backwards.
Right, okay.
And, but I personally have tripped on the lines myself.
Okay.
Trying to make a play, because they do come up and you get stuck on them and stuff like that. So that's the downfall of the program. The gym facility is beautiful. It's a little warm in there for me personally. It gets very warm in there. But easy access. I mean, we haven't had any issues because of winter. We really haven't. I think there was one day I shoveled a little bit, and I've had the sand a couple times, but as far as that goes, everything's been fine there. Just other than that, issues with the basketball players trying to come in sometimes when we're playing. But other than that, everything's been fabulous.
Okay. Bathroom's been okay. One of my concerns is you guys use it Sunday night into Monday morning. We've had 2 days of full basketball play, and the cleaning crew doesn't come in until Tuesday. Those, we pick up after basketball, but we don't clean the bathrooms. Those have been okay. They're-
Yeah, no, we've gone in and make sure they're clean afterwards, too. I mean, we don't scrub the toilets or anything, but we just make sure everything's picked up
Yeah,
and stuff like that. That's not an issue. We sweep the floor when we're done.
okay. Anything else on your end before I bring up a couple of things on mine?
The fans in the ceiling, do they work at all?
So, 3 of them work. One of them was hit and was bent and was clicking, right, making a clackering sound, so you really couldn't, you can't only turn 2 on, you have to turn them all on at once. It was warm in there on Sunday, and I tried it, and the fans seemed to work then, so the electric box is in there. So I think it's number 1, there's a note on there that says fans. So just flick
Yeah,
the...
we did try to use them one time, but the clacking
Yeah.
was,
There are 2 fans that are running fine.
Correct.
The third one will run fine for a while, and then it starts being a mouse up there, which you know a bearing's going. And the fourth one is, as you know, is not working at all.
That is correct. So I know they're on the capital list, but they are not anywhere near the high priority. So I think they're on for 27 or 28 at this point. So, you know, we have talked in the past about maybe charging a small amount. That would be something we could do. You know, that's not something the basketball program can fix, right? With our volunteers, someone's got to get up on a lift and all that stuff. So, you know, if people were to charge, say $1 a session or whatever you want, you know, maybe we could combine funds and get some sort of project done there, if that's a high priority for you guys. To be bluntly honest, in the winter, it's not a high priority for the basketball.
Oh, with the nice weather coming too, you've got the doors that can be open to the outside.
Correct. So, you know, something to think about, right? Something to think about. How, if there are issues in the gym that you'd like to be resolved, if they're not a safety concern, they tend not to be the top priority for the town. We have other needs here in town, you know, maybe some fundraising, whatever. And like I said, I'm only speaking as a basketball president. We have a board that would vote on these things, but we'd be happy to, I'm sure, contribute some money in the joint projects. Anything else before I have a couple of other things of my own?
go ahead.
My biggest issue is the rugs. So we need to, and I understand your solution, so the rugs go in front of the bleachers and in front of the walkway, mainly because in the winter there's snow melt, all that stuff. We want to try to get as much of that off people's shoes instead of onto the floor. And we had a couple instances, not recently, but in the last few years, when it does get on the floor, it gets very slippery and dangerous for the young players, never mind the pickleball players. So I understand, the first couple sessions after you moved them, I taped them down, but then it's like a 30 to 45-minute process, and I couldn't do that every Saturday morning anymore. So the rugs kind of became a little bit of a hazard, a little bit of a tripping hazard, because they moved around and whatnot. So I don't have a solution, but I'd like to find some sort of solution. I don't know what the answer is, but we had a very mild winter still the last 3 weeks. So snow melt, ice melt was on the floor was not an issue, but it has been an issue in the past. So I'd like to kind of come up with some solution, whether there's some sort of Velcro system we can put down, or I'm not sure. I'm certainly not an expert in that area.
So I guess I'm not understanding. We put the rugs and we move them back, and then we put them back where they were, because they do cause a tripping hazard for us as far as play.
Right, and I understand that. So before there was pickleball, we taped the rugs down, and they stayed down all season.
Okay.
So I understand your need to move them, and I'm not complaining about that.
Okay.
But that did cause an issue. It's just leading to other issues, right? That, you know, we have grandparents who come to the game, people with walkers, and now the rugs are ridging up, and they're just not quite as safe as they were last time.
Oh, okay. I didn't understand what you were saying.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I would just like to, I don't know what the solution is, but we probably do need to come up with something.
Is there a possibility of getting a single long runner so that you
When
don't
we
have
move it.
a lot of taped pieces?
I'm open to any solution. My initial thought was that that's going to be pretty heavy to move if you run it down the length of the floor.
Well, I mean, it could be in a couple pieces. I mean, you do have a couple really long
We
ones.
have 3 long ones
Towards
and
the end,
in the
and then
short.
you have all those short
We
ones.
used to have a 4th a long one too, but that's kind of gotten frayed to the point.
Yeah, maybe if we put the longer ones at the beginning and the shorter ones at the end, I don't know, because,
Yes, I think they have to be replaced into something that's a little more permanent yet movable. I don't know what the answer is. I thought this was a great time to talk about the winter
well,
season.
that's a solution we can definitely
Yeah.
work together to get
Right.
to.
But, unfortunately, not having them there is an issue. Now, I'm going to pull them up probably in the next week or so, throw them in the back, so there won't be an issue the rest of, once I'm convinced we're not going to get any more snow and ice melt.
Adam said he was cleaning them in about 4 weeks.
Those aren't the
No,
roads he's
that's
complaining.
for the,
He's
the
complaining
stuff to lay
the
down
flooring they
floor.
put down, the mats or
For the
whatever, they
voting.
put down for the voting. When you go vote, if you
Not
notice.
those mats.
There's a
It's the other
vinyl
mats.
covering almost
Yeah,
that's
very light.
when you go down
to
and vote.
protect the gym
Oh.
floor.
All right, so
We cleaned them not too long ago.
what you would like to have happen is you'd like to have the rugs that we're moving now,
Yeah,
the court side become, previously they were taped, and you'd like some solution to that issue.
yeah, I'd like them to be more permanent for basketball. When you run a program, all you think about is what can go wrong, right? And I just envision somebody tripping on an edge and falling and hurting themselves, and it wasn't perfect before, but it was definitely more dangerous this year. And I'm really just looking for a solution, looking for some help from solution. I'm not saying they have to go back to taping, I'm not. I just want to bring the issue up so we can, someone has mentioned to me there's these Velcro. I couldn't find anything when I looked, Velcro
I
solution.
don't think you want Velcro because you're starting to get some thickness there.
Yeah.
Supposing you put the rugs where you wanted them and just took one piece of tape, started at one end, you just ran it to the other end and taped it in place.
But you're still going to want to move them for pickleball, aren't you?
We would take it up, move them, put it back, retape them.
That's a lot of work.
It's just one piece off a roll of tape. How long would that take?
Well, it's a solution we don't have to come up with
Yeah, we
this-
don't.
right at this.
Yeah, I would think that's I would like something a little less, it's like I said, it took, the first 2 Saturdays, I retaped them down and everything, it took me 30 to 45 minutes, and it was just too much, so, again, I'm just trying to bring up issues and that sort of thing. The other thing I want to talk about a little bit is the bleachers, so, there is some additional wear and tear on the bleachers. Those bleachers are old. They may be older than I am. I don't know.
Oh, yes.
But in past years, we would just bring them out in October, and they wouldn't go back in until March, right? And the previous basketball season, we even had some 2x4s drilled into the bottom to kind of support, they're a little wobbly in spots, and to give them some support. So we didn't do that this year, and everything worked out okay. But they're, bring them in and out now 40 times throughout the winter. That's causing some wear and tear on them. That's going to be a cost to bear at some point for the town. So I just want to make sure that's in the public eye, as I say. There's no real solution to that. It is what it is. But
So what are you envisioning for a solution to that? Just not moving them?
so the actual solution is replacing the bleachers, but that's very costly. I don't know, there are now new regulations on how bleachers have to be, and they have to be plastic and railing, so I don't know if we can even get 4 sets in there anymore. I don't have a solution, and there's really no need for a solution. I'm just saying, instead of being non-functional in 15 years, they may be non-functional in 8 years, because we're moving them out, in and out all the time, you know what I'm saying?
So you'd like to either reduce the numbers of in and out or something?
Yes, I don't envision a solution unless you guys want to play with the bleachers out, which I don't think you want to do. So I don't think there is a solution there. They're really only going in and out. Saturday morning, I take them out, Sunday morning, I put them back. But over the course of the winter, that's from wear and tear, that's all. So I've kind of hogged the time. I don't know if any of the commission members have anything else they want to say about this past season, or...
No, I love the fact that you guys pack the place and it's something for the older people to do,
More mature.
more mature people to do.
What's your mouth over there?
No, I'm glad to see there's something for you guys to do, One more program in town to offer to the residents.
just build on that. I came to town hall the other day, and 4 of your pickleball players were walking out, and the smiles on their face were from ear to ear.
That's the key. I
It was,
tell everybody, as long as you smile, have fun, and be able to laugh at yourself, that's the key.
yeah.
Just go out there and
Have fun.
the cackling, and it's just, it's a great thing.
Yeah. that was-
Good camaraderie going on there,
Yeah.
and a recreational environment, yeah.
How come you didn't play? That's my question.
I was actually probably dressed like this, and I could have, I'm going to say I had work to do, but I'll come down there and whack it around.
Okay.
The heck.
So I'd just like to echo what they said. I think it went great after the initial taping issue and getting that squared away. I think from the basketball's perspective, the sharing of the gym went fine. And I'm happy that people are able to use it. There's more people in there and that sort of thing. So, anybody in the crowd, you guys have any comments about the past season you'd like to make?
Oh, it was great. I mean, I was new to this, and I think the leadership has done a really good job running the program.
All right,
Yeah.
fantastic. All right, let's talk a little bit about the spring season. Do you guys have how long you're planning to stay inside? Dick sent me an email the other day about maybe extended days, so I'd like to talk about that if we could.
You did?
Well, first things first, we were hoping to stay in there till about the end of June.
Okay, yep,
Yep.
that would be fine. I will say, after we get the first, June's probably a little early, but after we get that first heat wave, it gets very muggy in there.
Well,
and
this is where my next point is going to be, if we would like to move to the outside basketball court and be able to utilize that.
Sure. I have that listed forth. Can we wait till we get there? Can we just talk about just so we're all on the same page? So same days, so Dick sent an email about extended time on Monday through Monday night. Is that something you're interested in?
Well, we're still debating that. There is some demand. We are overflowing Sunday night because Sunday night people work during the week,
Okay,
right? It's close to
Yep.
retirement or wherever
Sure.
they are in age.
sure.
And that, we would like, without increasing staff, 'cause that's a problem. Setting up, taking down,
Yeah.
setting up, taking down is,
I hear that, Dick. I hear that.
yeah.
So,
Well, our discussion is basically coverage. You know, the more days we add, the more time we have to be here. So that's where our debate comes in. So,
okay, so at this point, we had an email conversation back and forth if you wanted any more spring hours. You said you were all set, so I did rent the gym on Wednesday and Friday nights. I don't have anyone else in there, so that's great, but would Monday nights, if you do extend, would Monday nights be the night you'd be looking to use, definitely?
That would help reduce the number of setups and take.
Okay, so maybe we'll leave it at this. At this point, I'll leave Monday night open for you guys, if you guys decide to use it in the spring, and I'm free if someone comes along to give away Tuesday and Thursday nights. Is that
Yeah.
fair?
That's
yes. The only, we would probably ask here and there to be able to play some additional time during the week. I want to hold a beginners session strictly for drills and stuff like that, where it's not gameplay, it's strictly for drills, but I could email you on a case-by-case basis as what days I want to do. But that would be during the week, on a weekday.
Right. So for the most part, there's a lot of time during the day. I would say in the next couple weeks, there are some afternoons we gets booked with people playing softball teams trying to get when the fields aren't possible, or even the soccer teams a little bit. But other than that, especially if you're going to go before school hours, you'd be fine.
Yeah, it would be in the morning.
Okay.
I personally like to do my activities in the morning.
So that would be fine. Excuse me.
So-
And then once the weather gets good, the fields are dry, we have, wherever you want during the day would be fine as
Yeah,
well.
we have a lot of beginners that they're out there playing gameplay and they want a couple more drills and stuff like that. So we want to have some clinics per se
Okay.
with those people.
And my vision
Yep.
is Monday afternoon.
Yep,
As long as you're going in the cycle, everything's set up and you're running,
Yep.
just keep running.
that would be fine.
Whether that works or not for us, I don't know, because we haven't had that discussion.
Sure.
We're sort of like saying, yeah, but.
Yeah, so that is all great. I will say, especially again, till the weather gets good, after school, some of the kids make their way into the gym, not through the gym entrance, but through the town hall or whatever. So if you have that reserved, I would just tell them, hey, it's reserved. Now, if you're going to leave it up, say, at 2 o'clock to come back at 4 o'clock, we'd probably have to talk about how you would secure that. That would be the only thing, and how we keep them out of there. But there's no organized activities in those times, so. So just a couple of things here. So as we go forward in the spring, I personally am in the gym a lot less. So it may not be quite as, it's not picked, I wouldn't say it's picked up all the time anyway, but it may be less so. Instead of being in there 4 times a week, I'm probably only in there once a week. So if you could pitch in and pick up if the kids are in there.
Oh, we always do. We pick
Okay.
up the candy
Yep.
wrappers and
Yep.
stuff like
Yep.
that.
The bottles.
Yeah.
The
so-
bottles that they leave
Yeah,
behind.
they all do that. And so it might not be,
Lost and Found is getting quite big over there.
it is. If someone has a solution for those,
It's time to start donating things. If they're not coming to get them, we should donate them.
Okay.
The clothing items anyways, to
I would
needy
I would
families.
agree. If somebody has a suggestion where to do that, I'd be happy
Okay.
to move forward on that. The other thing I would say is I'm not going to wash the floor as much. So basically during the basketball season, I'm washing it once a week on Sunday mornings. So it might be every 3 weeks, maybe once a month now if basketball's only in there a couple practice nights a week. So you may see some additional slipperiness with the floor. A little bit, it depends on who's in there. What I would say is maybe I would definitely recommend you sweep it. Both
We sweep it.
before especially and after, because sometimes the kids get in there and it's like they walk through the mud before they get in there, and you can just
Well,
feel
especially
it.
if you're going to have softball people in there and stuff like that, the kids aren't going to care. They're going to,
Well, it's coach, they'll have indoor shoes, and I don't think that would be the issue. It's more the unsupervised. Anybody playing softball, and they would get them supervised and that sort of thing. We're not letting them hit softballs around without an
hope
adult
not. It's
present.
another reason why the fan don't work. We have a pickleball up there too, by the way.
It's probably volleyball.
There's a pickleball up there with the balloons and everything else that's in that one fan.
So I would say to start, I would make sure you sweep it before you use it. If it does get a little more slippery, I can show you the process of washing the floor. It's a 45-minute to an hour process.
Yep.
You can either use the mop, or we have a pull bar where you wrap a towel around, but I'm happy to give a lesson on how to do that if you think you guys need that. But
Sure.
I just want to be upfront that it's not, without the need of,
As stressed before, we have no problem helping with
Okay.
the upkeep and the maintenance
Okay.
of the area.
sure. So I think that's all I have for the spring. Any commission members have anything they want to add? Audience members, anything you want to add for the spring? Okay, great. Next up is the painting of the pickleball lines on the municipal gym floor. I'll let you guys take the lead on that.
Okay, so we got a few bids, and we have a company that I really like. It's called O'Keefe Building Maintenance. He's out of the Blackstone area / Rhode Island area. He's done work at the Blackstone Valley Boys and Girls Club. I went to that specifically to see the work that he's performed there. And his work is beautiful. So we really like him, and we'd like to, if we get approval to go forward, we'd like to proceed with him. He gave us a quote, and I can just basically go over what he said would happen with that. He said he would come in and clean, sand screen, and prep the floor, lay out the 3 pickleball courts as we configured, paint in the courts with the 2 coats of the choice of colors that we choose. We chose red. Touch up missing paint on the court lines as needed. Prep paint when dry and put a coat of the oil-based urethane on it. Buff it and dry and tack the floor to a dust-free condition and apply a coat of heavy-duty oil-based urethane to the whole floor. So he's going to screen the whole floor,
Yep.
do the lines that he needs, fix up, touch up the other stuff, and then put a coat of urethane on the new paint that he's done,
Okay.
and then put a coat on the whole floor.
All right, fantastic.
So, and that's pretty much where we stand with that. I have a picture of what it would look like. Nice, Miss Judy Russell over there gave us a nice little picture. So if you'd like to see that.
That's incorporating the lines that we already have. That's already incorporating like the lines that we
Well, the
have.
lines that we already have would be there. We're not going to
Okay.
redo the lines, we're just going to touch up
The ones that got.
The lines that got messed up.
Okay,
But they would be putting new lines.
thank you.
We'd
Yeah.
be putting new lines down.
I just remembered the first meeting that we had a while ago about how long this floor we have. So that's why.
So is this do everything or just pickleball specific? Like, is he sanding it?
He's
touching
not
up?
sanding it.
Okay, so
We're
not
not
touching the-
sanding the
Okay.
floor.
That's it. Okay.
We're
So what's the
screening it.
difference?
It's
I was
not,
like, wait a minute.
it's a sand screen. It's just
Okay.
basically
Oh,
to
sand.
clean it.
Okay.
It's not, we're not sanding the
So
floor.
what already exists there
It's
is
staying.
not.
Will
getting
stay there. It's not
Okay.
going to get
touched
taken up.
besides
It's just
touch
going to
up
clean.
from the-
It's basically getting all the dirt off the
Okay.
top.
Oh, okay.
All right? It's not, we're not, I mean, that's a whole nother animal.
Yeah, that's why.
No, 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 not at all, no. No, it's called a sand screen. It's not sanding of the floor, and that, I guess the sand screen, I'm not really up on this stuff.
One of the things it's trying to do is to etch the floor so that the next layers hang on to what's already there.
Okay, so it says the cleaning and sand screening process includes removal of any tape or gum, thoroughly dry mopping, wet mopping with a cleaning solution to the floor, and scrubbing with screen discs under a floor machine. Sand screen, clean, and prep the surface of the floor for the new finish. It does not remove the existing finish or lines. It is only on the surface. This is a wet process, so no dust is created. He explained that process to me that way. And obviously, the money would come out of our budget. Well, we don't have a budget. We would take care of the funds to pay to have that done. All right, there'd be no town funds needed from anybody else. We would have the money to take care of that ourselves.
I feel like I'm hogging the, I have comments, but does anyone else have comments before? I do.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, let me put this, I have something, first of all, I think the basketball program, if you can send us a quote, we'll be willing to pay for the refinishing portion of we're due for refinishing, and that's kind of in our budget, so if you're interested, we would,
So as far as the urethane part of it?
Sure.
Because it's just going to be the one coat of the urethane.
yeah, ideally, we'd like to refinish it every couple of years, every 3 or 4 years, and we're definitely due, so I think we'd be happy to share the cost with you on that, if you're
Okay.
interested, if you want to give me a quote and that sort of thing. Two issues with the image you print there. So first of all, that logo in the middle is not the logo that's on the floor. He's not going to repaint what's on the floor.
No, it's just,
Okay,
It's staying.
He just put
okay,
it on there.
okay.
No, it's just
okay.
something-
That's just the high school logo, it's the youth basketball logo on the floor. It's not.
no, we didn't want to touch that.
Yeah, yeah,
None
yeah.
of our lines would touch it. We didn't not to spec, dear.
Yeah, okay.
It's just,
Okay, listen.
To be very careful.
If you know my history in town, I'm very sensitive to painting things, right? I don't know if you know my
No, we're
history
not
in
gonna
town.
touch the current
painting of
logo.
the walls.
I don't remember.
Why don't you tell us what happened?
that's why we felt that the color of the paint would go well with what's already on the floor.
So that would be my other issue. I would probably prefer like a lighter beige lines and those
You
red
can't
lines.
see them with that floor, though. A beige
Yellow
line,
or yellowish maybe, something a little.
that floor is much too light. You wouldn't be able to see that.
I
If
see
you don't go
you
with white, you won't have enough contrast. And if you don't go with a darker, like a red or an orange, we started by eliminating colors. We didn't do blue, we didn't discuss blue. We didn't do it black, we didn't discuss black. We didn't do it. So we ended up with red and orange. As the least,
So the gray lines are down there for volleyball, and those I think you do see fine. So, but I think they're more mild than at least what that image is, right?
right.
Yeah.
So my fear is, I described the varsity boys had a basketball game at a athletic complex in Dorchester. We got to the court, and there were 16 lines of all different colors, and it was hard to figure out which lines were what and that sort of thing. So my preference would be a lighter color, right, that stood out, was more in the background than stood out and took almost the lead of the floor there. That red is going to stand out a lot on the floor.
Well, it's a very light floor, so any light color you put is just going to blend in with the floor. And we can't do another gray, per se,
No, I
because
wouldn't want
of the
another gray.
lines that were already there are going to be, we're not taking up those lines. We are going to paint over some of them.
No, I understand that, yeah.
So-
So,
How about some kind of a lighter orange or something?
Yeah, or a yellowish tan or something.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, we chose red, but we can go something more. It doesn't have to be like, pull me over red. But,
So all in all, I'm supportive of the project. I would just not like those colors to stand out. I would still like it to be a basketball court where pickleball is played, not a pickleball court where basketball is
Oh,
played.
no,
Right.
no. We pickleball and basketball second.
Okay, whatever, but
No, we-
you understand my concern.
we can talk about the
Okay.
color as far as that goes. Yeah, it doesn't have to be like this color red.
Okay,
It just has to be, a yellow or
Yep.
a light color is just going to blend in with the floor. We can't even play with the yellow ball because you can't see it with the floor.
okay.
You know, and actually, even sometimes our orange ball blends in with that center circle. You lose it sometimes. You're
Right,
like,
right,
where'd the
right.
ball go? Because it blends right in with the center circle, so.
Right.
And the green ball was too light as well with that floor.
Okay.
And every place you play, it's different depending on the floor. At the community center, we were able to use the the yellow balls because their floor is much darker. I wouldn't call it dirtier, but
Is that the Witten Community Center?
White and Community Center, sir.
Community
So if you live in the area, it's White.
Yeah, I
Community
played
Center.
there many times, although they're doing their floor over the summer. so
Yes, actually, starting very soon.
Very soon, yes.
Very soon.
Had we thought about white lines,
White lines is going to be too light.
a darker white?
Darker white.
Yeah, so I'm not exactly sure how you would test out, and I'm not even sure if I have the support of the board, but I would just like something a little more in the background. That would be my only concern of the project. And
Supposing we went out and got some paint chips, you know,
Sure.
you go to the paint store.
yeah,
Then we sat down and just put the paint chips down and said yes, no, yes.
that would be,
Well, yeah, that's to
Acceptable.
a point, but you actually have to put them on the floor in a big perspective and see how they look, a little paint chip, just like when you get a paint sample at your house. You get it, looks good in the store, and then you put it in a big thing, you're like, ooh, that's
Even if you
awful.
got some construction paper with different colors and something like that.
But you have to see it in a big aspect of it, so,
We could try the construction paper.
so,
yeah, or if there were other floors in the area where the lines are a color
trying to see what he's got.
I'd be happy to drive around in my spare time, I guess, and check them out.
Well, see, this is what they have at the Blackstone Valley Boys and Girls Club. They have the black outside line and then the blue on the inside, but you already have blue in the key, that's why we didn't go with
Right, no, you couldn't do blue.
we didn't do a blue.
Yeah.
But they don't, I think with the painted key, that's where the problem is, because that absorbs a lot of the color in it.
I guess that's the other
really
issue.
sticks out.
I assume the lines are going to go through the key, correct?
Well,
They would have to. I
yes,
would assume.
just that one line down
Yeah.
the bottom here is going to go through the key on each side.
Why is that key painted blue?
Because it was
No.
Douglas color.
Yeah, nobody envisioned pickleball. I mean, pickleball, well, we did it, pickleball wasn't created. I mean, that was before I was in charge, but,
Other basketball courts don't seem to have that big blast of color.
right. So I understand your point, if it's going to be a multi-purpose facility. It wasn't considered a multi-purpose facility at the time, and I personally think it looks better that way, but, you know,
Yeah, it is what it
I
is.
think you're going to add to your cost if we're going to take, I don't even know how you would take that.
No,
pen-
No, 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 no,
Yeah.
no, no, no. We're not even saying that.
Just-
He was just asking a question.
Right,
I brainstorm a lot,
right.
then my brain runs out.
So just, I don't know what this is down below, but even this lighter green down below, to me, is a better option than the red would be. I don't know what that is in the corner, but,
It's like 4 square.
Well, they have four squares and
yeah.
a lot of different stuff
So,
for
I mean,
kids.
that would be a better option than the bright red as shown on the picture.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we were just thinking the colors that would look good with the orange circle as well, you know, so it would look,
All right, so one of the things we can do is, if you agree, we can hire the painter to get him on a schedule,
Yeah,
and then we can sit down and have a discussion about the color of paint, because that's a last-minute decision.
I wouldn't describe it as a last-minute decision, but other than that, I agree with your premise.
and then obviously scheduling would have to be, because you said you rented the gym out certain days.
I did, but if you tell me you're going to redo the floor, I'll tell them they're out this, that,
The painter wants a week.
yeah, that's fine.
because he's got to paint, dry, paint.
Yeah, he wants a whole week, so,
Yeah, we've been through the process before.
Do your lines need to be contiguous? Like,
yes.
Yes.
right
Yes,
now,
they do.
you're not.
It doesn't-
Not now,
no, it doesn't
it's
work.
Always creates a problem. The imaginary line, is it in or out?
Yeah.
Luckily enough,
Turn
it's,
the upland.
luckily enough, I mean, our Sunday night crew is a little bit more competitive. We have some more, and sometimes there is, but pickleball is one of those games where if we hit the ball to your side, you call it out. We don't have that say, and we're supposed to agree with you no matter what. And Dick needs new glasses because a lot of times he calls a ball out and it's in, so. Just saying.
Always on it, works on his
Just because he
side.
couldn't get to it, he wanted to call it out, so just saying. But no, I mean, it's not in, like, people aren't screaming at each other for it, but as these people become better at it, it's gonna, it'll be an issue as far as lines go. I personally prefer the lines, so there's no argument at all, you can actually see it. So,
Okay. So let's do it this way. I can give you guys the option. We can make a motion where you guys can move forward the project pending the paint color choice, and you can, if the board is willing, I can be the consultant or whatever you want to call it on that and help you with that, or we can do a full meeting again
well,
in front of the board.
we can definitely work together, you
Sure,
and I, and,
sure.
well, the rest of my crew,
Yep.
and we can decide on what
Okay.
color would work best, that's not a problem.
Okay.
I'm not thinking we're going to do this now anyways, because we're going to want to open doors and stuff
Yep.
to get, air into there, because, as we all know, urethane does have an odor.
It
So
does.
we'd like to have warmer weather, so we,
Sure.
and it's better drying, and we can get some air in there, so, I have to see what his schedule is too. He just lost one of his best workers, died unexpectedly.
Sorry to hear that.
So I'm not sure where he's at as far as hiring staff as well either, so we need to get on his schedule
Okay.
to get that squared away. But we can definitely work on a
Okay.
decision on color together
That'd be great.
and go from there. We just want to be able to have that, because I think we still have to go through before the selectmen to get the definite okay to do it, because it is a town project.
Something happened a ways back that caused that to happen, yes. So,
So,
Again, I don't remember.
thanks, John. Appreciate that.
so we will need to go before them as well, just to get
Correct.
the approval. So there's a little bit of time involved in that as well, so.
Okay. So a couple of things that come to mind. Number one, please let me know when that is so I can try to attend, and I'll let the board members know, just so we can be
Okay.
supportive of your proposal. Secondly, could you send me whatever document you had describing what he was going to do?
Okay,
Could
I
you-
can give you this copy. if
That would
you'd
be
like.
great. That would be great.
All right, I just,
My copy?
I'm not giving him the bid. That's our business. I just did this, outlined it.
Okay. Did he send you any kind of proposal on what he was going to do, or
Well, yes, I kind of took that, that's what he put on the bid.
could I see that bid document without, you can black out you can send it to me, you don't have to do it tonight.
Okay.
Listen, I've had a couple instances of that, Jim, that have scarred my reputation for life around here, so I'm just trying to avoid that. I don't really care what kind of deal you've made, I'm not interested in the price, I just want a couple people I know who are familiar with this kind of work, I just want to say, hey, does this look okay? Is there anything you see wrong here? And that's all I'm looking for.
Let's say that the one we picked, he treated us very well on price. And we didn't pick him because of price.
Okay,
We picked him because of his skill set.
okay. So that, I'm just trying to explain my purpose for wanting to see some sort, if you want, you don't have to send it.
I'm
you don't-
redacting it right now.
Okay, if you want to take a copy and send it to me electronically, I don't need it tonight.
No, let's think it.
I just,
Now I want to know.
All right, don't look in here.
and then, I guess finally, what I mentioned before, I
Let's
was,
just say I have a good power of persuasion. So we'll leave it at that. 32 years in the prison system, I know how to.
all right.
Beat people up.
She has friends in low places.
Yes.
So, again, I'd mentioned it before, if you were interested in maybe some financial help, for the refinishing part, please let me know, and I'd put it before the basketball board to help you guys out. We'd be willing to do
Okay.
that.
We have applied for a grant as well.
Okay.
And we don't know if we won't know for a while if we get that, so basically the funds will be coming out of donations we received from people,
Okay.
anonymous donations and otherwise, but we can talk about the cost as far as that goes.
Okay, great.
All right?
So I get at this point, I'd be looking for a motion from the board to approve the repainting of the floor and refinishing of the floor pending approval, our agreement on the color.
So moved.
Second.
Okay? Anybody have any other comments, questions, anything from the audience? Anyone interested in there? No? Okay, go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, I would just say, from where we were to where we are today, I think it's a good example of collaboration.
Working together.
I am cognizant of Ryan's concern that it becomes a pickleball court before a basketball court, so let's,
I'm a basketball player as well, so
Yeah.
my heart is with basketball, too.
We can
And that's another conversation for you. I need a gym.
Okay, perfect. Okay, anyone else have any questions or comments? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. Okay, we're all set. Moving on, anything else on the indoor and the painting before I move on?
Nope.
Nope. Number 4, you want to use the outdoor court for pickleball?
Yes, we'd like to use the outdoor court, which also would include painting of some lines on that as well. We kind of drew that up. I would think white would work okay outside because that is a painted court already, and the white would be fine on that.
Green, yeah.
It's green.
It's green with the red key, so the white lines would be. And then we'd also like to seek permission as well to put one of those big, huge fences to catch the balls so they don't go down that big embankment when people hit them. That would be a cost that we'd incur as well to get that. So we just have to put extensions on the current fence that's up there, maybe get the fence straightened out because it is a little down, and then put, you ever seen them at soccer fields and stuff, the big netting that goes across?
The ball fields.
Yeah.
Yeah, to just put across, so to keep, because we don't want people to have to go down that big hill to get a ball, and they're very expensive. We don't want to just, once we lose a ball, we don't want to leave it down there, so.
Just so I'm clear, the fencing would be temporary or permanent?
Well, it can be,
I don't care one way or the other, I'm just trying to get an
I
understanding.
would say permanent. It would be like a net type of fencing,
So like 10 feet tall or something?
maybe about 20,
20 feet tall?
about 20 feet tall. We need help by the highway department or something to help install it or whatever, as far as that goes. But, yeah, it's going to be it's a safety issue as far as, and we would obviously clean up the area to play out there.
Yes, you definitely need some sort of fencing, I 100% agree.
Yeah.
A couple of times we've done basketball out there, every 5 minutes a ball rolls down into the park.
Right.
I will say, there may need some trimming to be done over there, that those branches stick out over there.
Yeah, we
Any
have
kind of
enough- we have enough
windstorm, you got
people-
branches all over the floor, just, so,
As far as cleaning it up, we can,
Right.
get some people out there. Some of our group can go out there and help
Sure.
trim it up and clean it up.
Getting voluntold right now.
Well, there's other people. There's 75 people. I think I can get a few of them out there to help
Bring the tools.
clean it up. And obviously, we would, we still have our own nets that we would use for that.
so, again, when you get to the point, I would reserve the time through the town clerk. Okay, I don't really, nobody really books that. I had a summer clinic out there this past summer, but it's more just come and go as you please. So I would say you would go through the clerk's office, book your time, and then if someone was there, you'd say, we have the permit.
Well, that's what I say. I would
Yep.
definitely want,
Yep.
a time specified for us. I mean, people can come other than that.
Yep.
But we can't be kicking somebody off if, we don't have a reserve time. But if we
Right,
do
so
have
you
a
would do that
reserve
through the
time.
clerk's office.
Okay.
I'm much less sensitive about the court out there than I am the court in the municipal center, so
Okay.
what you propose there is fine by me.
We don't have the bid per se for that, but we did have a couple other painters that would be more specific to regular painting. We've had people come and say they would do this project, but
Yeah.
this guy has done these gym floors before, and that's why we really like this guy.
Yeah.
And other people would be painters per se that would come and paint the lines for us, so.
one of my personal concerns would be, I don't really know anything. I know very little about gym floors, but I know way more about gym floors than I do about fencing and outdoor floors, so I'm supportive of your concept, and I just would like someone else to approve the fencing. I don't know if John feels comfortable taking it, or go through building and facilities, I'm not sure, but you'd have to go through the selectmen too, I
I did
believe.
check that. There is no town bylaw on fences.
Okay.
Which was a surprise to me. But the building department does want to approve any fences that are put up.
Okay, well, that makes me feel, that would make me feel better. I may also talk with the police chief. Is your fence not going to, is he going to still, the translucent, so you'd be able to see into the core? I don't have any idea.
Oh, yeah,
Were
we
you
definitely,
facing the entire thing or just the wood side?
just the wood side, we're not the whole thing. We just want to do the back way, so if a ball cuts up there high enough, it's not going to go down that embankment. Just like you would if a soccer field or something with the woods in the area or
So
a
you-
road.
Some of it will still be open, is that what you're saying?
Just, they want
Just
to do the
against
back.
The full length of the court we would do.
On the back.
So we're not going to do a fence all the way around.
Oh, okay.
It's just going to extend from the current fence that's there,
Yeah.
go up about 20 feet.
20 feet up.
So there would
On the
be
wood line.
additional poles along the wood line.
Okay, so the court is kind of sloped like this, though, correct? I mean, slightly, towards the parking lot back here.
Yeah.
So you're going to get balls rolling down, that's where the basketballs end up going, is down that hill into the parking lot in the back here. So
Well, that's all right. We can chase after
I
those.
view fencing on the ends also as temporary fences, down every time we finish with it.
No, no.
No, Dick, don't, no, we don't need to.
That's what I see.
So,
No, we can get balls. I'm just concerned if somebody wants to go get a ball, they're going to go down that big embankment, and we're talking 65, 70-year-old
Yeah.
people. I don't want them going down the
I
embankment.
actually think makes me feel better that it's facing the woods, that it's sort of.
No, it's the woods, it's not the street.
Facing out.
It's not going to be the entire court, it's just that.
And again, I'm just trying to bring up issues, I really have no objection, whatever wants, I know the kids play out there in the afternoons, and on the weekends, and that's really all that's used for. I think it'd be great if you could use it more for pickleball and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I just would like someone else to approve the fencing besides us here, because I don't have any expertise in that area.
And
So
as
as long as we
far
go
as-
through the building, and I would say you'd probably have to present that.
And there's a few cracks there, we just want to fill those up there, but they're not on level, so that's
Yeah.
even perfect. We just want to put a little
Yeah.
stuff in them.
Yeah, I think that's all great, and if, I would say that, I don't know if you want to do it at the same time, but that needs to be probably approved by the selectmen.
Well,
As-
yeah,
as
we'll
well.
Do it all
go
at once.
forth with everything at the same time.
Okay, great.
I would suggest, because you're not, so I'm a visual guy, can I borrow that?
Yeah.
This side here, like a 6-foot fence, like chain link fence. Fence on not that expensive.
Yes, they are.
All right, well, notwithstanding.
If you remember building fences, like,
They are very expensive.
Oh.
Chain link fences. Yes.
So well, I guess I got a good deal.
Why don't you pass your personal on to them?
Lapierre fence, it was,
Richie.
yeah.
so I would just think maybe just a block, because you're saying the balls go into the
Where the
police are?
Where
Yeah.
the cruise.
So now the baskets are on those ends, so that caused a little bit more, but we played there once for an hour a week in the summer this year. We had more balls going down the hill into the
I
parking
mean,
lot
if
here
the
than we
pickleball
did.
courts go this way, it's really not going to go
Yeah,
that way.
It may.
Unless
There'd be very
someone
few
goes-
of them. I mean,
If you see Donna play, the ball's going to end up on Main.
I would think more Scott.
Touche.
That's more Scott.
I really believe that sooner or later, we're going to agree to put some temporary netting on the end, just to keep the balls from going around the screen center.
Okay.
I don't think we have to overthink it here, so.
Time will
well, that could
tell.
be
One
next
wall.
year too.
Yeah,
We'll start with that one fence.
and see if
Yeah,
you
see
need
where it
something
goes.
else at a later date.
I just think that's more of a safety issue, and that's why we need to put that
Yep.
fence there.
No, I fully support what you guys want to do outside. I think it's great to see that used more.
Yeah. Thank you.
So I think I'd be looking for a motion for a general, for general support of the project, pending more details, maybe, or do we want to just let them go forward to the building department and the Board of Selectmen? I'm not sure how we want to handle it.
A vote wouldn't hurt. I'll
Do
make
it.
that motion.
do we want them to come back with more specifics, or do we want to just say, we're good to go and work through the building department and the Board of Selectmen?
That's how I feel. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Let them do it.
Okay,
pretty simple.
All right.
Cut and dry.
We will keep you abreast of what's going on.
okay, that would be great. So I'll make a motion that we recommend the project, and that, pending approval of both the building inspector and the Board of Selectmen.
Are we going to have a discussion on the line color again?
I think it's going to be white,
I
isn't
think
it?
white will be fine out there.
White works fine.
Contrast.
Why don't you say, well, as part of the motion, we can agree. I really, I'm much less worried about that, to be bluntly honest. So unless you tell me you're going to do it bright
Chances
pink.
are, this
Yeah.
project will probably get going before, as
Yes.
far as painting goes, because you can get an outside painter more than,
So let's say we're going to do them white, and if not, you'll reach out to us and let us know. Is that fair?
yes, for sure.
Okay, so I guess I'm going to
Do you want that?
look for a motion, a recommendation of the project pending approval of the Board of Selectmen and the building inspector, and that the lines would be white. And if they're not going to be white, you'll reach out to us and we'll make a discussion.
So moved.
Certainly.
Second.
Motion made by John, seconded by Hannah. Anything, questions, comments from the commission members in the audience? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your time
Sure.
and your cooperation with our program, and we look forward to working with you in the future.
Great, great.
Offer of financial support for the indoor court?
Yes.
We might prefer that on the outdoor.
So,
One of the things that I think we need up there is an ADA-approved toilet, because seniors sometimes have
We're going to have the key for the building. They can come into the building.
So a couple of things. So my offer of support was for the basketball program. So the basketball program doesn't use that. We do use that. So we'd be, again, I need a number and I need to get it past our board. I think we'd be supportive because we've done that ourselves in the past. And I think it's only fair we use that just as much as you guys do, that we pay for that. I don't think you would get support for us doing it out there. Now, where other funds from the town and the ADA, I can't speak to those. We do have a third or fourth on the agenda as an increase in our recreation budget, but I'm not sure it'll be enough to what you're hoping for out there.
Most
Okay?
times this building is open.
Right.
Right, it opened during the day, and they can come in and
Right,
use
right.
the restrooms if they needed to.
Right.
And times that not, then if one of us is out there, we can give them access to the gym,
Sure.
the bathrooms.
Yeah, hold up.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much, I guess.
Thank
You're
Thank you
welcome.
very much.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it.
You?
I only came away with 5 action items.
Yeah.
It's the way it goes, Dick.
Thank you again.
Have a good night.
I look forward to seeing some of you on our pickleball course.
I don't want to get
Not me.
I'll teach you the proper way so you don't get hurt, John.
All right, number 2 on our agenda is Douglas High School use of Soldiers Field. Passed out a letter Tim created earlier this week, and I'll let him take the ball from here.
Okay, so after a number of years being away from Soldiers Field, Douglas High School, in their wisdom and support, opted to allow the Douglas varsity baseball team to play at Soldiers, which I had long advocated, and last year it went really, really well. I think the kids take great pride at the field. It is truly a remarkable facility in the Blackstone Valley, and it really adds to kind of the entire DHS experience. Last year, the vast majority, if not all, of the game day preparation was done by not volunteers, but volunteer. And as I'm preparing for this season, and I certainly tend to put as much time and effort as I did last year, I thought to myself, the high school is, if we were playing at the high school faculty or staff would be preparing the field. So they're really kind of making out by having it down there. There's no direct cost to the school itself. The baseball program will cover lime, anything that's really needed in order to get the field's varsity baseball ready. But my thought was for us to, in the spirit of collaboration, touch base with the school and see if we can't ask them to provide a staff member to work with the volunteers on game days just to get the field in a position. Probably less than an hour when it's all said and done, but game day preparation would go remarkably quicker and probably be even better with 2 people working it. So that's what the letter says. You're basically just looking for administrative support by directing a staff member who would otherwise be getting the field ready. Maybe they have multiple staff members, I don't know. But really, we just look for one to come and work with us to get the fields ready for a 10, 12 game home season.
Full support of this. Good to see the boys down there playing.
All right. Any questions, comments? Okay. I guess has everyone had a chance to read the letter? You want to take a minute to do so?
Well, for the people at home, you want me to read it?
Sure.
All right.
Go for it.
The Douglas, and I assumed that you guys would be supportive, so if not, let me know. The Douglas Recreation Commission wholeheartedly supports Douglas High School varsity baseball team playing its regular and postseason home games at historic Soldiers Field. The ballpark is truly a gem of the Blackstone Valley. Bringing high school baseball back to Soldiers Field last year proved to be a huge win for the school, the student athletes, the fans, and the town. We can all be proud of our baseball program and the storied baseball diamond, and it was great to see varsity baseball's return to it. We are ready to request staff support to assist the town's volunteers in getting the field ready each game day. One person working collaboratively with our team of volunteers for less than 1 hour will help our operations considerably. Materials needed to get Soldiers Field game day ready have been and will continue to be provided at no cost to the school district via the fundraising efforts of the Douglas Youth Baseball and Softball Program. To be clear, this is a friendly request to work together to create the best experience for all. Should the school district be amenable to lending an important hand, please contact us.
Okay. I guess I'd be looking for a motion for the board to sign the letter.
So move.
Second it.
Motion made by John, seconded by Jen. Any other questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, unanimous. Sign it after the meeting then for you.
Thank you.
We just have one to sign for all of these.
Yeah, why don't we, if someone wants to start the process, we can move around after that.
Okay.
Third on the agenda is a fiscal '24 budget discussion. I don't know if it was the last meeting or the meeting before. John suggested we try to increase our budget. I had some preliminary talks with the town administrator about this. I think John mentioned maybe going to 10,000. Being on the finance committee, I'm cognizant of we don't really see the benefit of the new buildings in towns until the fiscal '25, not '24. So my initial discussion with the town administrator is maybe we would increase the budget to 5,000 this year and then go to 10 the following year when the town would have a little more funding to do so. So those are my thoughts. I don't know if anyone else has any others, if anyone thinks we should take another approach. We are scheduled to go in front of, or I am scheduled to go in front of the Finance Committee on the 21st. I did post a meeting if others want to attend. If you do want to attend, let me know, and I can try to get a ballpark on when it's a pretty packed meeting on what time we're actually going to go up, but I would assume it'd be a 5 to 10 minute discussion at most. So those are my thoughts. I don't know if anyone else has any others.
So we
Or-
start off at 5, and then we could the following year apply for the total of 10.
We can ask for whatever we want to ask.
Right.
That, I think that as a smart approach is mine, is the budget is tighter this year than anticipated it's going to be in fiscal '25 because we're going to get some revenue from the new warehouses in town. Now, things change, costs change, nothing's set in stone, but I thought it was prudent to try to get 5 this year and maybe go to 10. And the town administrator thought that was a decent approach.
Yeah, and I thought if we didn't at least start the process to start building it back up.
Yep.
You know, I'm fine with going for the 5. I
Okay.
did ask for 10, but
Yeah.
we can start with 5 and, you know, we can start putting some money back in all of our fields and what have you.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know, at least trying to do the job that we're here to do,
Okay.
without just
Some
relying on
fences.
the volunteer programs.
Okay. If anybody doesn't have anything else, I'd be looking for a motion to request from the town a budget of $5,000 for the Recreation Commission for fiscal 2024. I did ask him, I did keep the light budget the same, which I think is $2,400, if I remember correctly, and the additional money would go into the expenses, I think it is, yeah, budget. So that's what we would be going for. So it'd be 22 and 2,800, I guess it would be or 24 and 26, one of those. So anyway, we'll be looking to increase the budget to $5,000 for the Rec Commission. Looking for a
Make that
motion.
motion?
Second.
Motion made by John, seconded by Hannah. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Unanimous. Okay. We do not have any meeting minutes tonight, so I'll go on to topics not reasonably anticipated 40 hours in advance of the meeting, if anybody has anything. Okay. I'd be looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by John, seconded by Tim, to adjourn at 7:32. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everybody.